Hi, I'm the BBQ Butcher. In today's video, I'll be doing a whole beef flank. Inside the flank are three awesome skirts that we can make. These years ago were not the most coolest cuts. When I was an apprentice, this is the cut of meat that you learn to start on when you're given your knife and your boning glove. And this is what you did. But before we get into the meat, the last video we had a competition to win a BBQ Butcher t-shirt. The three lucky winners are Craig Wheaton, Jim Johnson from Michigan, and MJ Hoss. I will reach out to all three of you guys about how we can get your t-shirt to you, and then we'll go from that. So let's jump in with this cool beef flank. Brings back a lot of memories doing these. As I said, every apprentice starts off doing these and learning how to take out the skirts. There's three skirts in it, and we'll get to those as we go. But first off, what is the flank? Layman's term, a flank is like the abdomen or the abs of a cow or a beef or a bull. So it sits around here. So when you take off the hind quarter, you got this big flappy piece of meat, which is, there's your ribs, 1, 2, 3. So that would be connected to, these will come off the top of the sirloin or the T-bone, and then this would carry on down. So let's jump into this. As normal, we'll, if you come down here, some of the stuff you can't use, it's tough as, you can't even get your hand through. So what I used to do is just straight down there, trim all this rubbish off, and I'll just chuck that under there. So we've done that to start with. And now the other part is, if you come in, you'll see there's another different shade from there to there. That's what the thin skirt is on the top. So you just want to grab your knife, just slowly go around it like that, and then plus get this first layer off. You want to get this off, and this just pulls off. Once you've got it, it'll just come off. So you don't want that on there. That's pretty tough, actually. I can't even put my finger through it. So you don't want that. So then what we're showing you is the first one. And these were made really famous. When I was at butchering, started off, this would just all go into mince. Had no use for it. And then our lovely friends in Mexico found a great use for these, and a lot of these steaks now are sought after around the world. The value of them has gone through the roof because people love them. They've found out how tender, they're cooked properly, what you can use for them in tacos. So we love them at our house. So just keep on just pulling this out, following the seam. See that? Follow the seam, follow the seam. All butchery is about is following the seam. There's what we call the thin skirt. As you can see, it's pretty thin. That's why it's called the thin skirt. And I'll show you what the thick skirt, or it's got many different names. It's going to be called the Bavette. It's got a lot. But first off, we're going to go to this little puppy down here. Just imagine that. It's called a paddle. In New Zealand, we call it a paddle because on the end of a canoe paddle, it sort of looks like that. Trust me, it doesn't look exactly like that, like a paddle. Some people will write back to me, but that's what we call paddle steak, or other people actually call it the flank steak. That is the pure flank steak. But so with this one, is just, again, it may have a covering over it, so just pull that off as we're doing there. So you want to get all this rubbish off, and see, all of a sudden it became a lot brighter because it doesn't have this liner. As I said, it's so hard, this stuff. Very chewy. I don't even know what they use it for. So now in here, you just put your knife in gently, just go around the red part, and underneath it, again, you just pull off because underneath it's very hard as well. So get some, and then get those little bits, and just follow the seams. This is one of my favorite cuts of all time. It's so cool. for Taco Tuesday. My sons love Taco Tuesday. So that's what we call a paddle skirt. See, it looks more like a paddle. It looks more like a paddle now. You can sort of see it. And that's just the second skirt off the flank. I'm going to come over here, but before, this is what we call, you may have heard of it called the thick skirt, or majority of the world would have heard of it called the Bavette steak. But we'll get to that soon. But here, you probably can't hear, there's a soft bone, a brisket bone in here. So just go down, and you just run your knife down, and just go straight through the soft bones, so you can take that out, so then we can get to the bone. My normal starring dogs are not here today, they're out the front, so they're missing out for once. They'll come back and get that for dinner. So then up here, you got this big hunk of fat normally, so coming back there. You don't want to waste any of this cool Bavette. So you can either start at that end and work your way to this way, or this way to that way. It doesn't really matter, but we will just run it along the edge. As you can see, red meets white. Use your own logic that you're just pulling that away from there. And then you come up here. Again, it's got some more of this horrible chewy stuff. Take that off. And then we're going to come over here and start. So there we go. See, just picking it up as I go through. So this is called a Bavette or thick skirt. Many different names for the same cut around the world. If you've got different names for this cut in your country, please put a comment in, and I'd love to learn the different names from other countries around the world. So that's the Bavette. So we'll just put that there, and we'll just show you what else you can make out of this, out of the flank. So this stuff here is just so chewy. You can't really even use it for sausages. You can if you want to trim it all out, but I wouldn't. I don't waste my time. And then this one here. So you got 3 ribs. If you want to make some dinosaur ribs, boom. This stuff here, awesome for mince trim. So that'll go all in for mince trim. And these, we're going to again pull off that other cover. We don't want that. Then these bad boys, you can make poor man, what I call poor man short ribs. So you can put those straight in. Not much meat on them, but they're still pretty cool once you slow cook them. So we'll be doing that one night soon, so we'll just slow cook those. So that's what else you can use off the whole flank. And now I'll just quickly go over these skirts so you can see the difference. So again, this is the thin skirt, the least valuable out of all of them, but cooked, thinly sliced into your tacos is amazing. Again, that's the paddle skirt because it looks it. You can trim off a bit of this fat, just cook it whole as it is, hot and fast. Years ago they would have said do it slow or to casserole, but not anymore. That's a hot and fast steak. How things have changed. And again, this is the big steak that people love the most, the Bavette. And just trim up all of this stuff along here. You can pick this off. There we go. And then spin them over, check on the other side, take that all off. And that's what a whole beef flank. So we started with that giant piece of meat, and we ended up with 3 skirts, which are some of the best cuts that you can get off the animal. And then you've got a spare rib, a beef spare rib, so they're pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed my video, and remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you up soon.